Hi, everybody. A lot of people ask me, Kim, which website platform should I use? So today I'm going to go over the different options and the pros and cons of each one. So there's a few different platforms that you can use, as you know. And we'll add some notes here too for you. Let's start with one that people ask about a lot, which is Squarespace. The pros of Squarespace, it's fairly easy to use. However, the con is it has a limited number of templates. They kind of all look the same. You can kind of tell if a website is made on Squarespace. You can customize with CSS. However, can only customize. You have limitations, I should say. Limitations to customizations. And also the customizations need to be done by an expert usually. Let's make this a little bit smaller. They've gotten better with SEO. Yeah, there's a lot more places that you can add schema code. You can do more things. But a con is no ability to speed up your site except by cropping and compressing your images. There's nothing you can do on the back end to make your site faster, and that's a piece of SEO. But as far as I guess they're missing H4 through H6 headers also in the formatting, which means that you just have a limited ability with SEO. There's still a lot of things that you can do with it. I definitely get clients on the first page of Google Squarespace. I'd say WordPress is probably the best option if you really want to get serious about your business. And Squarespace is the next best option if you're trying to save money or just be able to do things on your own. You lose the ability to do complex tasks when you work with a site that's easier for people to DIY. And I feel like Squarespace is a good kind of happy medium. It's difficult to move it. You have to rebuild the site if you ever want to change, like to WordPress or something like that. And same with WordPress back to Squarespace if you ever wanted to do that. I wouldn't ever recommend that. But yeah, you can kind of do whatever. I'd say another con is you have to pay for everything. So pay for email, pay for courses. There's a lot of upgrades, lots of hidden upgrades. It's expensive also compared to WordPress. Expensive annually and with upgrades. Like scheduling, you have to upgrade. Email, you have to upgrade for business emails. If you want to have a store, you have to upgrade. If you want to, do anything. So it's kind of like nitpicky like that. But let's get back to some pros. It's not all bad. I think they look really nice. Look nice. Easy to DIY. I'm just going to leave it in as is because I just can't. Yeah, I mean, it's a good platform for just starting out, or if you've started out on Wix or Weebly, which we'll talk about next. It's not a bad transition, but it is difficult to rebuild it if you want to go higher. So like, for example, if you started off with Weebly, I don't know if I'd stop at Squarespace because eventually you want to end up at WordPress if you want to get serious about your business and have all of the customizations that you can have possible. However, if you've never built a website before, I would skip Wix or Weebly and go straight to Squarespace because you might be able to just stay there and then you can save yourself some time and money. All right, so that's kind of the pros and cons about Squarespace. Let's talk about WordPress because I just keep talking about it. So pros are SEO, best for SEO, easiest and quickest to rank, can make it lightning fast. Most editions are free. Email is free if you use self-hosted. It's the least expensive annually. But let's talk about some cons. Need an expert, typically. You need an expert typically. Another con would be probably need an expert. Complicated. Needs updates on the back end. Needs updates on the back end. Other than that, it's honestly the best. I think that it's the best to grow into. So WordPress would be my best recommendation there. Let's talk about Wix. Stay away from Wix, whatever you do. Wix, oh man, Pro, easy to set up, cheap-ish to set up, but that's all you get, like once you set it up, there's not much customization you can do. It's kind of tricky to do. Everything is extra, not easy to SEO, not as much control over design or SEO. So it's a basic. It's kind of like your basic starter kit. Weebly, same thing, but even worse than Wix. The pros are there's a free plan, but it has marketing like language at the top. It has marketing language at top. Cons, again, limited and everything, basically. It's a good stepstone, like a basic one. Maybe if you want to, just start your business. But again, I would probably go to Squarespace if you were going to pick either of Wix or Weebly. Don't get fooled by the commercials. Let's talk about Kajabi. This one is absolutely terrible too. The pros are all in one. I don't think it's easy to design or set up. Limited customization. Limited SEO. Can't do site speed. Just a lot of limitations, but it is all in one. It's expensive also. You get your mailer with it, but again, MailChimp, you can get a free plan up to like 2,000 contacts, I think. Maybe it's only 500 now, but either way, you won't have 500 at the beginning. So I would just always do WordPress with MailChimp. WordPress, I use InMotion hosting. It's about $90 the first year, and then about $150 to $180 a year, as compared to Squarespace, and the others are about $200 to $250. Free emails, I should say free business emails, unlimited. Free SSL certificate. I think most hosts and website platforms include this now, but it's basically your green lock that lets you know a site is secure. So that gives you a free one as well. Again, you can customize it, but that you just save a lot of money that way, especially if you're going to grow your team later. You want to have like a contact me and, contact at your business name email, or maybe you want to have a team later. It sets you up to grow. You definitely need an expert to figure stuff out, but honestly, it's another good investment if you're going to get serious. So if you're just starting out, don't go with Wix, don't go with Weebly. Skip right to Squarespace. Don't do Kajabi. You might be tempted because it's like, wow, all in one, a funnel. Like, a funnel is not magic. Creating a funnel doesn't mean that anyone's going to go down the funnel. It's like, building a path or, road doesn't mean that anyone's going to go down it. You still have to show people the way. And the part that's hard is the showing people the way. It's not necessarily setting up the funnel. There's a lot of free stuff that you could do with that. They make it seem in the ads for Kajabi that like it's going to be this magic thing that all of a sudden just flows. But there's no way to skip out on just the regular old marketing of, networking and your e-news list and your social media and your brand and all that stuff. There's no like shortcut to any of that. And you can, again, create that with any of your things. Squarespace, again, is like, it depends what plan you do. It's like $180 to $250 a year. You have to pay for extras. But a good choice for beginners. Potential to never have to switch. So if you're deciding which platform to go with and what you're trying to do here, I would think about your long-term growth and your personality. Are you the type of person who builds a team and has an expert, help you with various things that you don't know how to do? Are you tech savvy? If you would answer that maybe you're not tech savvy, but you also are someone who doesn't spend money on help or support or wants to just pay one time and sort of be done, and you don't foresee yourself growing very much and you don't foresee yourself needing to tap into local SEO, Squarespace is a great option. I think that would be your best bet. If you are someone who sees your business growing over time, like adding more professionals, adding more services, and you're the type of business that you want to be found for whatever someone's searching. So for me, marketing agency Denver or marketing agency US, then and you are someone who knows that you're going to need to scale eventually, I would start with WordPress. Now make sure that you don't do WordPress.com. It's WordPress.org, and then you get a host in Motion Hosting. Again, don't set this up on your own. If you're going to set it up on your own, you're going to start on your own, start here. Because if we marketers get a really messed up WordPress site, it's harder to build from the start than it is to fix that, if that makes sense. So again, if you're going to start out or you're going to switch, have a professional do this one. Have a professional help you update it regularly. Have a professional like on your team as part of your expenses, your monthly expenses. And that's what we do. If you're going to be a beginner or you find you don't think that you're going to scale eventually and you want to keep your costs down, go with Squarespace. Don't get tricked by the Weebly ads. Don't get tricked by Wix ads. Don't get tricked by Kajabi ads. It's expensive. And I've worked with clients on every single one of these platforms. I can tell you that. Let's talk about Shopify. I don't really do. Let's add insert products, because I feel that products are a limited income source, and they also take out usually 50% of the profit just by nature of being a product. I always think that a service can be accentuated by a product, or a product can be accentuated by a service. So I personally would avoid Shopify for that very reason. It's expensive. Every month, if you don't make a sale, you're going to still be paying this monthly fee, and it's limited again because it's meant for DIYers. You're going to spend all this time setting up your Shopify account only to close it later, I swear to you. If you want to get around this, I highly recommend having a professional set up WordPress.org and then set up WooCommerce. WooCommerce is free plugin for selling products. And then if you do WordPress, you can also add LearnPress, free plugin for selling courses. Whereas all the other ones, you have to pay extra or set up complicated things. I really recommend having a professional. So if you are just not that, go with Squarespace. It's going to walk you through everything, and it has products. I would avoid Shopify at all costs because you're just not going to be able to add anything to your, almost all of the retail stores that I've worked with have either closed or struggled, because I think that almost every every retail store needs to have a service as well, whether that's like a membership or there's got to be like another stream of income, because it's just going to be a challenge to get that traffic, unless you want to take a loss for many years, which most people don't. Most people that we work with are small businesses that maybe have like an extra little shop on their store. And this way, if you do WordPress or Squarespace, again, Squarespace, you pay more because you're doing it yourself. Either way, the money is going to come out. Whether this one will be more of your time, this one will be paying a professional. But I really wouldn't stray from either of those two. You can do services, products, and everything that you need to do on either one of those platforms. One's more advanced. Excuse me. One is for beginners and people who want to DIY. If you have any questions or you want to access this sheet, just go ahead and click that box right there on our course to download this, and you'll have that forever if you just need a quick guide. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.